we step into the world of big dreams, big moves, and big money. It's the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. After 40 years, the Big Cheese remains dedicated to serving the finest Italian dinners, pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. All of their pasta is imported from Italy and cooked fresh every day. Visit BigCheeseMiami.com. Now, let's find out who's the Big Cheese the Miami Hurricanes are working on with insider Manny Navarro.
All righty. How you feeling? Manny? You feeling good, baby?
Feeling good, bro. I'm gonna be feeling 47 tomorrow morning when I celebrate my birthday. So I'm doing okay otherwise.
All right, that's good. I get to 59 October 1st. So
Wow. But looking great at 59, brother. You've really changed your whole life and your outlook, your health. You look great.
I'm trying, bro. I'm at 234. So now I want to lose the last 30. I want to get to like 204, 207, 208, something like that. So I've been in this weight now for like 8 or 9 months. And that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to lose the whole thing. I wanted to see if I can, because I've done this 3 times. This is my 4th time losing a lot of weight. And I always end up gaining it back because I went crazy about all kinds of exercise and all that. And instead, I haven't even started really exercising much at all. Do a little bit of walking. And I do a little pickleball, something like that, but not really serious exercise yet. And what I've done is all like eating, like, okay, I have my 2 meals a day and within a certain amount of hours, and then it's over. I don't eat anymore. And so I've now trained myself to stay in the 230s. Good. So now I've got to go to the next level of losing that next 30 pounds and then work on staying in the 204, 207, 208 range, right around there. Just fluctuate, there. So, yeah.
Well, be proud of yourself. It's not easy.
No, that's the hardest part. Unless you have medical issues. Anybody has medical issues, losing weight, God bless you, bro. I'm sorry, because that's really, really tough. But those of us like me that I'm lazy, I just like eat crap all day, and then that's why I gain weight and I don't do anything. It's my fault, and I can lose the weight, but it's me having zero discipline, brother. So now I have some discipline. So let's, so I got no choice, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Age, I got no choice. It's less weight on the bones. All right, so listen, you got to work on something here with us, bro.
All right.
I thought last night they would introduce him, Jason Taylor, Miami Hurricanes defensive line coach.
Right.
Former Jet, former Redskin. Sorry, he was a Redskin, not a Commander. Whatever. Former Akron Zip. La cagaron. Dolphin. Dolphin. Yep. We can't do that anymore, bro. So
they jinxed them.
Can Mario go over there and bang on the drum or something, bro? We can't have any more Dolphins. So, so Jason's a winner. Okay, but we have Furones on the show. He's been on the Dolphin beat now for a few years. The Sentinel put him on the beat last night.
Immediate change in results. Yep.
More funk came into the building. The stank from Jason, the stank from Furones, and then
yeah, we got to warn the Panthers here. I got to reach out and tell them, man.
We need to do that, brother. We need to do that. All right, so let's get to this is the Big Cheese segment, of course, and call our friends there at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. Go check them out. Incredible Italian food. Remember, the pasta is shipped from Italy, okay? And it's cooked fresh daily. So the quality is there, and family servings. Go to BigCheeseMiami.com for more information. They landed a couple of big cheeses, sir. Who are they?
Yeah, 2 commitments this week following their second recruiting weekend, which was a week ago. One of them is Tyson Bacon, a defensive lineman. Bring home the bacon, so to speak, right? 6'3", 260-pound D tackle, D lineman from Hoover, Alabama, who I know Mario and his staff are super excited about. Ohio State was recruiting him, Florida, Georgia. He's supposed to go visit Georgia. So big time kid. I know he's only a 4-star, but
SEC, that's where the SEC media days are. Hoover.
yeah, Hoover, Alabama, correct. Yeah, so a kid that look, we know how this works. So Alabama, Georgia, all those SEC schools are not going to stop recruiting this kid until December. So, but you got him right now. You have him in the fold. He came down here, enjoyed his visit, has been around the program a bit, and they've done a good job now to land him. They needed a D tackle, didn't have one of those yet in the class, so important pickup for them. And then the second kid was Cannon Pickett. If you know the Miami Hurricanes history, it's a popular last name, the Pickett family. His brother was part of the class last year. His cousin, rather, was part of the class last year, Booker Pickett. He is the 6th offensive lineman. Go figure, right? Mario's got 6 offensive linemen among the 13 commitments in his class. This was going to be a big year, though, for the offensive line. You could have 4 guys drafted.
He gets that part, dude. I wish the people in Miami Gardens figured that shit out. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, six guy they've picked up, 6'4", 320 pounds. He's only a 3-star out of Tampa, but a lot of upside, a lot of athleticism in terms of potential. I think a kid who could potentially end up a 4-star, just like his cousin was actually a 5-star for Miami a couple of years ago. So I think he'll be a blue chipper as well. So they've got 13 commitments now, the number 8 class in the country. More kids obviously are going to be committing. Mario does a good job. I think basically we're down to the fact that you got 13, you probably get another 12. I would figure around 25, 30 guys at the most in this recruiting class.
What other positions right now are they still trying to recruit?
I think defensive line, we mentioned it before. You want to try to get 2 to 3 D tackles every single class. You want to try to get, some edge rushers. No edge rushers yet. Jason Taylor usually does a great job. I mean, defensive line, they've done really well recruiting with him the last couple years, getting 5-star, 4-star guys.
He does a lot better in the recruiting area than banging on the goddamn drum, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just checking.
Yeah, I think D lineman. I think wide receiver as well. You picked up those transfers this year because you lost so many guys from a year ago. You've got some freshmen that are going to be playing a lot this year for you, but you got to bring in another class because you don't want to always have to go to the transfer portal. You'd like to have some homegrown guys, and obviously some guys are going to leave. So I think D line, wide receiver are the 2 primary spots left for them to address here. We're going to have more commitments. June and July are commitment months, so we will see if they end up getting any of the guys that they've been chasing here for better part of a year now.
Don't try that shit here, okay? Not like when you walk into the Big Cheese and you start smelling and you see the rolls and you're teasing me. Well, let's go. Who are the biggest visitors? Let's go. Who's coming?
Well, this weekend they've got 11 kids. They got 11 kids. 2 of them are commitments that are already part of the class. So there's 9 uncommitted guys. And the biggest one is Calvin Russell, the big wide receiver from Miami Northwestern. Calvin is a basketball star. He is a football star. His mom played for the University of Miami. She's up in the rafters up there. Great basketball player back in the day. And the thing with Calvin is everybody in the country wants him. And you got Oregon, Florida, FSU, LSU, Michigan. Michigan offered to take him in basketball as well to try to entice him to go over there. But this is a huge commit for Mario Cristobal. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. I feel like the one thing he's yet to really do is completely locked down South Florida in terms of the best player, right? Jeremiah Smith went to Ohio State a couple years ago. You got to get Calvin Russell.
It's not about this. It's about that.
Yeah.
Okay. And you get the U. We know about this, and nobody gives a shit about this. And they want the U to they want the U to get pregnant.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. The U must get pregnant.
Yes.
And it becomes a W. And so then now you end up with 2 Utes. So
that's the way. Yeah. That's what we need to see to happen here with Calvin Russell. They really need to get this kid. We've talked about it before. The elite recruits in your own backyard. Until they stop going to Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, you're still technically playing from behind, and he's a big one.
Because you have the people that they like. Great. They like Mario. They like their assistant coaches, whether it's offense or defense. That's fantastic. You got a beautiful facility, bro. You're in Coral freaking Gables. there's a lot of schools that aren't in the best of neighborhoods. You're in Coral Gables, dude. And then you also have all the NIL money that, you just mentioned all those schools that I was going, money. Oh, LSU, cha-ching, Michigan, cha-ching, everyone you mentioned, they all have the same money Miami does. So there's one ingredient missing, and it's
the W. Yep.
And that's it, dude. And that he will seal the deal everywhere, not just here in South Florida. Recruits all over will want to come here and all that because you've kind of broken through that funk.
Yeah.
A little bit, It's not Dolphin funk, but it's it's kind of funky.
It's been 20 years of funko, and you got to break that cycle at some point here. Two other guys to keep track of: Israel Briggs, who's the number one tight end, I think, on their board, a kid out of Redwood, California, 6'5", 200 plus. He's an NFL tight end. Look, they've done a good job. They obviously have Brevin Jordan, Will Mallory, Elijah Royals, the latest tight end to go in the second round for Miami. They've got guys, but you got to continue that tradition. You got to continue to recruit that position at an elite high level. And Israel Briggs is a guy that I know that they're very invested in trying to convince to come here. So we'll see how this visit goes. And another one to mention, Jay Lamar, running back out of Georgia. Miami has a commitment, Javian Mallory out of West Boca Raton, who is visiting Alabama this weekend. And this is why recruiting, it never ends, right? You gotta make sure that you stay on him. Mallory committed to Miami months ago, but Alabama's coming, and so you gotta look for alternatives in case he jumps. And Jay Lamar is that guy.
All right, good shit. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. What do you got going on in the athletics, sir, so they can check you out?
Yeah, we covered all the big storylines of the offseason in the ACC and SEC this week. So if you want to catch up on what's happening in the South and with the teams that we cover here, you can read that. I'm going to be on the Paul Feinbaum show in a little while to talk about my SEC coverage, and so we'll be talking more football there. But look, man, it's an interesting time of year. Everybody's bored. We want the games to start, right? We can't wait until August. But this is the time when you hope that everybody is doing what they're doing in the off season, staying healthy and smart to get ready for that first game, August 31st against Notre Dame. We will see how Carson Beck looks in a matter of a few weeks once camp opens, and we'll go from there.
So when you're done with the interview, about an hour later, he's taking phone calls. So, Paul, who's that Cuban you got talking on there on the college football? What's he talking about Miami? We won't talk about Alabama here. No, Bird. What's this doing about Miami? All right. Anyway.
I loved it. That was great.
Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Catch his work there at The Athletic. Catch him on Paul Feinbaum shortly. Appreciate you, my brother. And, of course, visit our friends at the Big Cheese, BigCheeseMiami.com, 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, and tell them howdy.
You've been listening to the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. At the Big Cheese Miami, they continue to purchase the same high-quality ingredients that the most expensive Italian restaurants use. The difference is they serve large portions at a family price. Visit the Big Cheese at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue in Miami. Call 305-662-6855 or go to thebigcheesemiami.com. Go Canes!
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.